Hello, my name is Ken Echirachi. I am the organizer and originator of Back to Health Retreat and the Back to Health program. And if you have been listening to or looking at Facebook or LinkedIn posts I've been posting, you know this is a retreat I'm organizing in May in 2020. And the story is that I used to be overweight and had type 2 diabetes, and through diet, exercise and relaxation techniques that are fun, innovative and actually easy to do but also impactful, I have managed to lose my weight and reverse my diabetes. And usually I put on a video about running or exercise or giving tips about that, but this time this video is like an invitation for you to join in January with myself and my co-host, co-organizer Teresa, for a demonstration of healthy cooking. So I'm going to, as a precursor to that, I'm going to show you how to cook something really simple. You do not have any need to have any cooking ability to do this. It's completely vegan and it's very nutritious, energetic, and at the same time you won't put weight if you eat this in conjunction with your exercise program. So what I'm going to cook for you is vegetable cooked in peanut sauce and a Sri Lankan fat bread with coconut, called coconut roti. And so two very easy recipes to bake and economical, and also it's quite quick to make. So I'm going to show you how to do it. The entire process will take about half an hour, which is not very long. So there's two recipes. One is the vegetables cooked in peanut sauce. So I'm going to use mushrooms, broccoli, and courgette as my vegetables, and I'm going to cook that. So one of the principles of my cooking is not to add any oil or fat. So I'm going to cook the vegetables in a peanut sauce, and then that peanut sauce will actually give you the taste and everything that you need in that without you having to fry or saute the food. But the taste is really good, and you avoid having to add oil to fry things. So here's the start. So to start with, what I'm going to do is to cut up some shiitake mushrooms. If you get large shiitake mushrooms, you only have to use maybe about 2 or 3 for 2 portions. So I'm just cut them up roughly, so you don't have to do any specific cooking skills. So that's the mushrooms going into my pan. Shiitake mushrooms. So that's 3 shiitake mushrooms, and then a few white mushrooms as well. So as you can see, this recipe doesn't require too many ingredients. All you need is 2 types of mushroom. You could use any different types of mushrooms. I'm using just white button mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms because it's got good flavor. Okay, so that's mushrooms, and then tender stem broccoli. You can get this from any supermarket, and hopefully if you can get them without plastic, that'd be good, but I couldn't find any. So all you need to do is just halve the broccoli and put in. So as you can see, there's not a lot of complicated cooking techniques, just chopping vegetables and putting in a pan. So it's as complicated as this recipe. And it's very quick to make as well, so it doesn't take all day for you to do it. Maybe I'll show you a bit of the surface. So you can see, there you go, that's done. And I'll just take one courgette, so we need all of the courgettes. Okay, that's enough. Just half, and then chop into big chunks. Need to be chunky so it shows up in the sauce and in the mix. Okay, so that's done. That's the first stage. So I've got the vegetables done. So next thing is to make the peanut sauce. So making the peanut sauce couldn't be easier. So all you need to do is to get some dry roasted peanuts with salt, and then you need, let's say, one for this, for this size fish, just 1 cup of peanuts. Notice I'm not weighing in a weighing scale because it's very simple. You don't need to have that. Just 1 cup of peanuts, or half a bag of large peanuts, large packet of peanuts. Just put them in your blender. And peanuts come already with salt, so be careful about putting too much. So just a pinch of salt. And into that, I'm going to add just 1 bird's eye chili chopped up into small bits. But you don't have to have chili if you don't want to, but it just gives a nice kick. And the other thing is just a couple of tomatoes, just roughly chopped, because you don't need to chop it too well, because the blender is going to do the work for you. More. There you go. And 3 grinds of peppermill. Okay. And a couple of shakes of soy sauce goes in there. Okay. Again, very rough, but not too bothersome. It's really easy to make. So, and then you add water. For 1 cup of peanuts, you need to add 2 cups of water just to get enough consistency and thickness. If it's too watery, then the sauce doesn't work, or if it's too thick, the sauce doesn't work as well. And all you need to do then is just to put the lid on and okay, then that's the peanut sauce that goes straight into the pan. Don't forget there's some nice stuff in there, so I just add a little bit of water and put it all in. Lid on. That cooks for about 10 to 20 minutes, about 15 minutes on the medium heat. Okay, so that's the first part of our meal done. Okay. Away. Second part is to make the rotis. So a dry board, and I need a non-stick pan, and I'm going to use rye flour because rye flour is a low glycemic index, which means it digests slowly and release energy slowly rather than quickly. So if you use rye flour, that's a really good thing to use instead of wheat or rice flour, and it can eat well and without putting too much weight on you. So I'm going to use 1.5 cup of rye flour. And once again, I'm not using scales to measure, so it's easy for people. You don't have to worry about too much what measures are. And then the next thing I'm going to add is coconut, desiccated coconut. So that's about, for if I add 2.5 cups of flour, you add the same amount of desiccated coconut. So that's 1 cup of desiccated coconut, and another one here. Then add another 1/2 cup into this. Okay. Away. Meanwhile, our vegetable stew is cooking in the peanut sauce. That's our basic mix. All I need is a little spatula and a little fork. So to this we're going to add a pinch of salt, quite a good pinch of salt. I'm using salt crystals or rock salt. And then about 1/2 teaspoon of crushed dried chilies, about that much. But obviously you don't have to if you don't like it. You could add maybe cinnamon powder instead of chili, and just mix it well. Okay, it's really simple. So to this I'm going to add water, just plain water. Probably, let's see, just 1 cup. See how it works. And just mix it into a wet dough. And another cup, I think. It's too wet. So I think I have too much water in there, so I'm going to add a bit more flour. Probably another, let's say 3/4 cup. I think that's just about it. Maybe a tiny little bit more flour. About 3/4 cup of flour. Right. So it's a wet, sticky dough at the moment. It's okay to have it a little loose, a little wet. It doesn't need to be too dry. It needs to be quite light and fluffy, so if it's too dry it can get to be like a stone. So you want to keep it fluffy and light and mix it quite quickly, not too much mixing. Here we go. So next thing is flour. Make sure your hands are covered with flour and also the board, and then you just empty the whole lot onto the board. Okay. To work quickly, okay, so that's what is being done, and you're gonna I got a pan here on the cooker, so I'm gonna heat the pan up. sauce when it's dry. Just cut a little piece of your dough, your roti, and just make it into a little disc. Again, this is very, very easy. There's not much kneading, not much working on it. It's very simple. It's okay for it to be wet. And put that one there. So use flour to make sure so it doesn't stick to your hands too much. Okay. Well, I'm going to pause the video now because you've seen the basics of it. I'll put back, connect with you back a little bit later when it's all cooked and ready. The vegetable stew with peanut sauce is going very well. As you can see, it needs to keep cooking for maybe, it's been on for about 10 minutes now, maybe for another 10 minutes. I cooked with lid on for about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to cook with lid off. The liquid reduces so it makes a nice thick sauce. And this is the rotis, coconut rotis. As you can see, it's on a medium heat, so it's not too high, not too fierce, but it's about 5 minutes on each side. So this side has been 5 minutes. As you can see, it's a bit, you can see it's a bit caramelized, you can say, but it gives a taste, so, don't worry about that. It needs to be a bit like this, okay? So here we are, so it's finished. So this is the rotis complete, and this is the vegetable sauce with vegetables with peanut sauce. Really nice.